Alright, I'm going to do a little quick review of a new case for the Samsung Galaxy S4. Just got this today, and they just came out, part of the first group of people that ordered it from their site. It's the new case, the Eclipse from the S4, similar to their S3. I didn't have one for the S3. I had an iPhone before this with their with the Vapor Pro from them, which is why I went back to Element case, because I like my Vapor Pro so much. Okay, so first of all, before I start, this is the case I was using before. It's the Olo Tough. I kind of got this as an intermediary case while I waited for the Eclipse. I'll just say quickly, I'm not reviewing this case, but it's an okay case. The thing I don't like about it is this material that's here. It's this rubber neoprene type, not neoprene, but this rubber type material. It's very grippy, which is okay for grip in your hand, but when you're trying to put in your pocket, this grips a little too well on fabric, so you're really forcing it into your pocket a little too much. But it's not bad though. It's not a bad case. It's cheap. Well, 30 bucks, I guess, for me. Depends on what you call cheap. But anyway, simple as that for the phone. Case itself comes in a little fold out. All it comes with basically is the case itself, which sticks on this weird little plastic platform. Comes in two parts, which is a metal ring which goes around the front of the case. It actually fits around the case quite well. There's a little extension part that you may be able to see. It comes out a bit, so it actually goes onto the face of the case really quite well. See? Bang. Just like that. Now, I have it on upside down, but the key thing about this is that it has the same features as the S3 case, but a couple of differences. In the back of the case, it's a thicker plastic kind of polycarbonate material for the most part, but it's got an inner lining for softer material in the corners with their sound boost system here, which I was surprised actually how well it worked. Back, carbon fiber with a kickstand. Fits in pretty well, very tightly compared to the other case. The Olo I can remove quite easily, but this one takes a little bit more force. But it's not bad with one hand. Now, one thing I did notice about this case compared to the S3 case that someone did a review on was that the S3 case gave a lot more room for headphone. This one really does not. I really not impressed with the level of space it provides for the headphone jack. So that's something to keep in consideration if you're using thicker headphones. The base of it, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it probably could be a little more roomy as well. Other thing is the sound boost side here. It's actually really good. Not a big deal for me. For some reason, this one has this weird gap in the corner. Don't know if that's intentional or not, but I think the material's kind of stuck out a bit. But it's not a big deal. Anyway, it's not a bad case. Works quite well. Makes the sound much better on the speakers. It is much better than when it is on the back. Now the other thing that brings me to is that I'm a left-handed person, and I constantly keep hitting this button by accident, the lock button. On the Olo case, it made it stick out way too much, as far as I'm concerned, here. And I was constantly pushing these buttons by accident. Now, depending on your opinion, some may differ depending on what your experience is. these are flush now and actually require much more force to depress. Same thing on the other side, but that I prefer it this way because now I don't tend to unintentionally press this button. Say if you're in the middle of a game or in the middle of doing something important with your phone, whatever you're doing, accidentally hitting the lock button, especially for some games that require a load up. Sometimes some games have a terrible load up time. You have to go through that whole process just because you accidentally hit that button, just because you're moving your hand or doing something. So I'm definitely liking this new button that's flush, and it works much better. Now the other thing is the kickstand. I would have preferred it to be a little more sturdy because it's okay if you're just lightly setting it down. It does set it at a decent angle, but you press that a bit, it's very flexible. Now flexible might be good, but the plastic's only as good as the hinge that it's based on, so I don't know how strong this hinge is. And watch me break it right now, which would be not very impressive, but it's basically just an old pin. It's not under spring power, not under anything, it's just under its own thing. But it's actually quite unintrusive when it's closed, so it doesn't really matter. The other thing I like about it, but it does give it a bit of extra width, is it's got kind of an hourglass kind of shape to it. Kind of comes in, it's a little bit wider, shorter on the left, on the right. Depending on which hand you're holding it in the palm of your hand or not. For me, this is the way I hold it because I'm left-handed, but the other way it might be better. The SBS sticks out. I think that's pretty much why they went with that design. The other side has a lanyard hole. The only thing that this does come with is a little lanyard. Not too special. I don't want to use a lanyard, but overall, not bad. Something worth checking out if you want a more unique, tougher case with some extra features like the SBS. Some of the other things it says it features is it's aluminum, integrated kickstand, carbon fiber. Well, that's just that little one plate, which doesn't make a big difference. Integrated buttons, which I do like I said, it doesn't stick out so you don't accidentally hit them as much. High impact TPU chassis. Sorry, I'm using my old iPhone, the camera on it. I can't believe how I used to like this phone. Ultra slim ergonomic design, lanyard included, design in California. There we go. I went with the black on black. Comes with black, silver, black on black, gray and silver, and gray and black. So the one I have is the black on black, but you have a few choices. And overall, definitely worth it. It's more expensive compared to other Galaxy cases, but nothing close to what the Element has for the iPhone, which go up to in the $400 or $500 range for the titanium Ronin. But I'm not familiar with that because I'm just using. I had an iPhone 4